On the Pioneer Vision Weekly Coaches Show, we're here with head coach Dave Bike. Coach, hit the midpoint of your season right now. Real quick, if you had to give your team a grade at this point, midterm grade, what would you give it?
I'd give them some A's, B's, C's, D's. I don't know if I give an F, but they're ranging. Certain things we did pretty good, and some we got to get better at.
Now, you guys have played really well. You won 6 out of your last 7. You've pulled even here in the Northeast Conference at 2-2. 2 big road wins last week on the New Jersey stretch at Fairleigh Dickinson Monmouth. Games where you guys trailed, at different points in the game, but really closed the game out with big runs. What is it about this team that seems to not really get, not bothered by falling behind and able to kind of fight their way back into games?
I really don't know. I mean, I think that part of the thing we tried to instill was to be willing to grind things out right from the start. I think we had pretty good preseason, and we talked about when you talk about defense, I think you have to have some patience and you're willing to work at it, so maybe that carried over. But we've been fortunate that we're just playing better basketball, I think, across the board.
And defensively, it's been a strong, focal point for you and for this team all season. Where do you assess your team at this point? It seems like when this team really wants to get after it and defend, they make it very difficult for other teams.
Well, when we watch the film, I mean, what am I saying? It looked like a player, walk around and look like a player both offensively and defensively. And there's times that, it does look like there's a team out there that 5 guys have tremendous defensive posture and they're working hard at. And then there's other times that the guys are standing straight up, maybe not aware of the ball and stuff like that. So that's important, I think, that we put it together more consistently. And that's what it's all about. And that's how guys go from one level to a next level and stuff, is if they're more consistent with their game. And that's what we have to learn to be.
With the 2 road wins in the NEC now, you've won 2 on the road and the 2 at home. But this team looks like completely different than the one that played Wagner here and Mount here. I mean, how much would you like to have those 2 games back playing the way you are right now?
Well, there's no doubt that if you look at, like you said, the last 7 games, I guess we had a pretty good record in it. And in the first 8 or so was not so good, and we played better. And we did improve, which hopefully we would. You start with a whole bunch of new guys, and I don't think improvement is automatic, but there is a better chance of improving when you start off real bad, and you think you have some talent there. But now is crunch time. Now we're in the league, and that's it, just the league all the way, the rest of the way. And we have to be willing to work and get better. I told the guys one of the things that I think we got to realize what really helped us is even when we were in that real bad stretch, we had real good practices. And I think that had to have some kind of positive effect of going forward. And I said, now, we're playing pretty good. We got to make sure that we have as good a practice as when we weren't playing good.
Talk about the way this team, rebounds. Last game, you guys against Monmouth, you guys were in a bit of a rebounding hole. They were kind of hurting you with second chance points, but at the end of the game, you ended up rebounding. And if you look at the stat sheet, there's not really one guy that sticks out as your key rebounder. It's almost like a team effort. Is that the way you see it?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody can brag averaging 4 rebounds a game, but the important thing, whether it's points or rebounding or defensive percentage, is the team. I mean, the final outcome, right, we're looking at the scoreboard here, it's a team situation, and if everybody got 3 rebounds a game and the other team, everybody on their team only got 2 rebounds a game, I'd be happy because the differential is important, so I think, though, that's what we need, because we don't have just a go-to rebounder. We can count on double-digit rebounding.
Let's talk about a couple of the players. Drell Thompson really kind of has come into his own this year. I see him as kind of a complete player. He's done a lot on the defensive end, and in the last game he scored 2 points in the first half and had 17 in the second half, and really helped key that win down the stretch. Talk about what he brings to this court as a senior, the leadership factor, and how his game has kind of evolved.
Well, I think he knows he's a senior. In that, he's really been dedicated, especially this year, to having a good year. And like you said, it's in more than one aspect of the game. He's really done a real good job, and that's important, And he's producing, and he's playing well. You can try all you want, but you still have to get the job done. And there's no doubt that across the board, his defense has improved tremendously. He's got the best assist to turnover ratio. He's scoring points. He was second on the team in scoring. He made some real big shots, but he's not doing that with the idea that the points are the only thing that matters to him. You know what I mean? I think he's really picking his spots to have a complete game, as you said.
And we've talked about Shane Gibson a few times throughout the course of the year, but he's really hit a stretch where he's playing really well. He says 4 20-point efforts in his last 5 games. The one he didn't was at FDU. He had some foul trouble, but still had a big shot for you guys down the stretch of that game. And I think looking on the outside looking in, I think that maybe was where his confidence level's at, where even though his game wasn't where it probably is normally, he still had the confidence and wherewithal to hit that shot. Talk about where he's at. I mean, he seems to be in a real groove right now.
You know, I think what might have helped him too, though, is that even when he was playing, he was shooting 30%, I think he was still confident that he could make shots, you know, and that's so important that you can't go have confidence and then not have it at all. So I think that kept him together, and I think he believed in a matter of time that he was going to start putting up more consistent numbers, you know. So he's, as he told you, you told me that he thinks he's a scorer, you know, which he is, and we need him to score like that. I just think we should push him, and he should push himself to be a more complete player.
You're 3 freshmen that have kind of done such a great job this year, and Chris Evans and Evan Kelly and Luis Montes. You know, I talked to Chris Evans after the FDU game, and I said, you know, sometimes you guys don't look like freshmen. You play out there like you've been here for 30, 40, 50 games. You know, and what he said to me was that, you know, the coaches look at us, and they look at us and want us to be, you know, leaders out there and for people to follow. Talk about their play and what they've meant to this team and the growth of this team as this season's gone on.
Well, when we recruited them, we knew that we would have somewhat of a new team, you know, and we told them that there would be an opportunity to participate fully. And I think they've, by their play, have taken full advantage of that, you know. And I don't know how old they are. I always say I don't know what class they're in or whatever. And we're out here. My job is to put out some good players on the court and try to make the right evaluation, get the right combinations in there. So they just taken advantage of an opportunity that they've had, and they're playing pretty well. And like I said, you got to keep going though. Hopefully, it'll be 4 years of improvement.
All right, Coach, great job. You got the team playing so well. 2 home games this week as the Pioneers will take on Central Connecticut on Thursday night and Bryant on Saturday. Good luck. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you, Bill.